Just about a month ago, I released a devlog talking about the work I was starting on for a game where I was mainly wanting to focus on melee type of combat, basic melee combat, and adding story for a game, which are two things that I didn't really do too much of before. And here's the game now, 1 month later, just about. I'm going to go through all the progress that I've made, show off everything that I have so far, and explain it as I go through. Let's dive into it. First thing here, one of the most recent things I added in, as you can see, the character has a little bit of like an idle animation, you know, like as if it's just like breathing, and when you turn, I got a little bit of sway added to the actual player and the weapon and that type of thing. And when you walk, there's a little bit of weapon or a little bit of bobbing. And oh, look at that, we have 2 skeletons, which basically, if you remember from my last video, it was practically just skeletons on like a green background. Like that was it. And now if we look all around here, we're in this brown hole, you know, the dirt hole, and then there's all these crystal, elemental, rocky type of things here, and like corrupted water. And so what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna run around here, and you can see we have this skeleton here, right? Look at this. We smack it. It does damage. It has a little bit of a camera shake for the feedback, and one of the bones go flying. And then you hit it again, and then boom, the soul flies out. The skeleton crumbles into the remaining bones, and it's done for. And if we keep going here, boom, 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 you know, it just really feels impactful as you're playing. And then you could get some double hits in. Oh yeah, boom, absolutely destroyed. I really enjoy how the combat is feeling right now. It's not advanced at all. It's very simple. Just click and, you know, attack. But I'm really liking how it's feeling. It's pretty great. And then you can whack them and stuff. And then if you go in the water here, you'll start taking damage. And then whoa, it's like all trippy. Like what's going on here? Like it's infected. Get out of the water. And every like second that you're in there, you take damage. You can see one of the skulls right there. This is what I've got for the first area. This is called the impact zone. Basically, the idea is it's just like a regular old like mountain here, and then these elements crash landed here. And now you're trying, you arrived at this spot and you're trying to figure out what happened here, why is there skeletons, and right over here you can see, whoa, it's this area. And as you can see right here, we have a lock on a door. Huh, interesting. Wonder what that's all about. You can't run through it. There must be a key. So then you have to go and find the key. And okay, well, I was looking around this area, it's pretty empty except for this little like rack of pickaxes here. And if I look around, oh, we have a key, and I can pick it up, and I'm also able to sprint, and then I'm also able to crouch. But I can open the door, and whoa, it enters into the caves of this mountain. And as you make it this way, you see all these beds. I wonder what these could be used for. And then we have another locked door here, which I have a key right here that I'm using for testing purposes, but not gonna be showing that off right now at all. And I believe if I click B, or T it is, I can drop it. But yeah, it's like, oh, okay, this is like the sleeping quarters of the caves. Very, you know, rocky, and okay, we have these tunnels. Let's try to just make our way through, I guess, and see like, ooh, what's in here? Well, we have some tables, it looks like, made with seats that are just logs, and then it looks like slabs of rock on top here. And then we have another key, which is just for testing purposes. Not actually going to be here in the game itself. And you can see, oh, there's like this like little window area, but it's like boarded up, but you can kind of see a little bit inside there, and there's like red something, but I wonder what that could be. So you can see I spent some time, you know, I did the bed models and stuff over there. I modeled this entire area, added all like the texture of like the caves and stuff, like it would actually look like if it was a cave. Did all the modeling for this stuff. And then if I keep moving along this way, following the cave system and looking around, you know, this area is currently empty, but going this way as well, there's like even a deeper cave mine shaft, not mine shaft, but a mining system, I guess you could say. You can see it leads to a lot of dead ends here, not too much in here, but if you make your way around here, oh, bunch of dead ends. And this is just like a little cross Easter egg, because, you know, it's just a cross, and I'm like, that'd be funny if I just added a cross as like, okay, this is the outline for this little cave area. But yeah, this is the cave system that I have so far modeled and set up. There's really nothing to do here as of now. It's just you enter the cave system, and then you just kind of run on around and there's just like this long cave hallway, if you will, and it leads to the outside world. And what's in the outside world? Well, there's trees and green, and what do we have here? We have the graveyard. And as we make our way to the graveyard, we can look around, we got trees and stuff to help with the environment, just make it look nicer. We have this whole graveyard modeled out. It looks, destroyed a little bit, things are all tilted, and what happened here, and then, we have 2 skeletons that were over by that tomb. We can just take them out. And yes, for testing purposes, I have 300 health. Don't question it. That's just for testing. And it's like, okay, then we see these music notes right here. Like, what's up with these? And if you interact with it, you can pick it up. And it's like, whoa, okay, music notes. And then, wait a minute. What do we have there? In this tomb, there's engravings. If you interact with it, you place it. Ooh, spooky. And then if you go over here and then you place that. And what happens if you place this 3rd little purple note? Whoa! The weapon gets destroyed. You're left defenseless, and there's Sir Newton the ghost. And so, well, there's still these things. I guess pick them up, and you're able to, but it's in the different slot. It's in the weapon slot, and you can see now you're able to actually attack with this. And oh no, there's this burst drop the weapon, and it got hit by it. And what is it? It's very vibrant and purple. It's a charged music note now. And what can you do with the charged music note? Well, might have an interesting ability. What if we try to attack Sir Newton with it? Oh, it did damage and it disappeared. Interesting. Ooh, this one also got charged up. What if I try to attack this ghost with this one now? And if I can hit it, I did it. Oh, there's a lot of skeletons. Oh, it seems like there's multiple spawning now instead of just like one every few seconds. It seems like there's more bursts of energy. It seems like it's ramping up, if you will. And then if I get this last one, what if I just tank it? Oh, it got hit. It charged it again. This is the last music note I have. Will it destroy Sir Newton? Come on. Oh, yeah. Annihilated. Sir Newton is defeated. The bones of some of the skeletons are all that remains, and this is the progress that I've made on this game so far. Yes, it's more of a playthrough that I just did here, but if I go out of this here, I also was messing around with fog, which I disabled because I was just doing that a little bit before the video, but this is the world that I've been working on, the game that I've been creating. We have the starting area, the impact zone, okay? Impact zone, ooh, how did I get here? How did the character get here? How did these skeletons get here? What's the mystery around that? And then making your way into the cave system. Okay, we have different beds, so people used to sleep here and stuff, and, I spent all the time modeling all of this. A lot of time making sure that the cave looked more cave-like, because before it was just like straight walls, like just cubes I was using for the outline. And then we have this area, and then it goes this way, and then and then I can like zoom out and you can kind of see like, whoa, what do we have here? See the whole place, the whole level, and it's very interesting looking. It crashed right at the top of the hill, making this crater. See, that's really what I've been working on. I've just been working on this game, getting it all set up in a way to where I have like a little bit of a gameplay system here. Main focus has really just been like the melee combat, just trying to figure out melee combat, how it works, how to make it look and feel right. And I think it's going pretty well so far. And then in addition to that, actually modeling the different environments. This was originally going to be 3 different levels. Level 1 was going to be the impact zone. Level 2 here was going to be the whole cave system, and level 3 was going to be the graveyard. But I'm like, what if I just combine that all into one? Why separate all of it? Why not just have it be one bigger level? By the time I have my next devlog out for this game, focusing more on the caves especially, because, well, the graveyard I'd say is pretty decent, and the impact zone is pretty decent as it is. It gets across what I'm wanting it to get across, the purpose of it. This is just like the starter area, kind of looking around. Oh, what's this elemental rock type of stuff here, crystal, whatever it is, and why is it emitting like particle effects? Like, what's going on with that there? Why does the water hurt me? Like, bringing up all these questions, and seeing pickaxes, like, okay, maybe these people were mining this stuff here. And then what I want is the caves to really double down with that, like start answering some of those questions and bringing the world that I'm creating more to life. So it's like you enter the caves and, okay, maybe you'll find like a journal under the bed, or a dead skeleton on one of these brown circle things, which these are supposed to be toilets, underground toilets, basically. It's like, oh, there's a skeleton on the toilet. What's going on there? And then maybe the idea that I've been having is, okay, we'll have a few like in this area, there'll be like a boss skeleton, maybe in the bathroom area here. And once you kill him, he'll drop the key, and then you're able to access this room here. But then what's in this room? Maybe it's a secret or a hint to, you know, something in here for this cafeteria-esque area where there's all these tables, and that's kind of what I'm getting at. This is supposed to be like the kitchen area, and, you know, this is where everybody eats, like the mess hall, and then over here is going to be like the armory / like tool area, where it's like, okay, this is the intro space to the cave. You know, the people here started on the outside of this mountain and dug their way in until they started making rooms and doing different things and then expanding, and, you know, they made their way all the way to this impact zone because, well, it's a little bit too tall and kind of difficult to get in that way, so digging on through is what they decided to go with in this world with this story. But I want to focus more on the story. Overall, there's a little bit of gameplay here, but this game's not going to be very long. You basically saw the extent of this game as I've been thinking it up, as I've had the idea for. Basically just a small, short little project where it's gonna bring up a lot more questions than answers, most likely, but just like a little introduction to this world that I'm like creating here. And yeah, basically I wanted to do something with melee combat. There we go, we have some melee combat. Next up, I want to focus more on the story, and it's like I want there to be explanations and like, okay, music notes. What are those music notes in the graveyard for? Like, why did they get here? What's the point of it being music notes? Why is there this tomb? Who's Sir Newton? I want that all to be more fleshed out and explained through different clues and journals and stuff like that throughout the cave system. And then I also want to add, you know, a little bit more on the outside of, you know, the mountain here. And, you know, right here it's a little jarring with the mesh because, you know, the way that the cave system is, it's like trying to figure out the best way to get it to where it doesn't look weird, but it kind of looks a little off right now because it's like kind of sticking out. But I want to, you know, adjust the mesh a little bit there, and then just focus on making the area around here a lot cooler, better environment type of stuff, and then maybe like some more clues, a little like smaller little like environment piece, if you will. You know, around this area there could be a little bit more access to like trees and stuff, and seeing like, okay, some trees were chopped down, and seeing how they, you know, this is why there's logs in the mess hall area, because they broke the trees and brought it in there. And I just want to focus on, you know, adding a little bit more to the graveyard area, except for just the boss fight. Maybe another journal or something. Inside of the tomb here, you can see it's currently empty, although I do have like a casket thing here. It's like the casket, and this is supposed to be like the lid. It's like a stone tomb inside of this giant tomb. And basically the way that I'm wanting it to work is, before you start the boss fight, this slab is just on top covering it. And then when you start the boss fight, the explosion sends it, you know, knocked down to the side here. Probably just need to like move it around a little bit, like there or something like that, you know, adjust it as I go. And then, you know, with this, having it be something where it's like, oh, that's where the body of Sir Newton lies. After you defeat Sir Newton's ghost, maybe there's gonna be something in there. And what I'm intending on there is a potential little upgrade to the weapon. Right now I have the weapon as just like this rectangular sword, but I think I'm gonna switch it to like, you start with nothing and you just pick up like a pickaxe, and the pickaxe is the main weapon, is what I'm thinking for now. And then once I finish all of this stuff up, and, you know, the length of the game isn't long at all. It's only this one level, and I don't know if I'm gonna really work on it anymore after I finish this, but once I'm done with this whole like main level thing here, I think it'd be really cool if I added in like an endless mode where you can use like maybe like if there's a special upgrade or special thing once you beat the boss fight, foreshadowing maybe, I don't know, you'll just have to wait and see. But after you fight the boss, I think it'd be really cool if there was like an option to have like an endless mode, and it basically is like more of like the gameplay type of stuff, because this is mainly just, yeah, there's a little bit of gameplay, a little bit of combat and stuff, but the main focus is like, I'm wanting it to be more around the story. Yes, a little bit of melee combat, but, you know, The main thing is the story. It's a small level here, nothing too crazy. It doesn't take long to get through, and then I want to have just a little something extra to just do, because while yes, it's cool and the idea is there's not really much to do outside of, okay, you kill a few skeletons at the very beginning here, and then I want to have a few skeletons like in the cave system, and then you got the couple skeletons here, and then boss fight. Not a whole bunch. You don't really get that much of a gameplay loop, because the main idea here was less on like a full-on gameplay loop, and more of just like a small project to practice, finishing a small project for one, and then having it be with the main focus of like telling like a fun little story or like a start of a story. And with that, I wanted to try melee combat as well, and just try that out and make that as fun as I can. So then I wanted to just, with all that, add an endless mode where it's like, okay, you can play in the graveyard, or you can go through the graveyard, or you can go through the cave system or the impact zone here, and guess what, you can just go ahead and skeletons are going to spawn a whole bunch, and just kind of, there'll be like maybe like a tracker, like this is how many skeletons you've killed, maybe like some health pickups and stuff, which I think I need to add regardless. And then it's just like, okay, see how many skeletons you can kill before you die, and just add a little bit of like a bonus mode type of thing there. But yeah, that's really about it. There has been, all of this progress, significant progress since the last month, since like a month ago when I released the last video. Before, it was basically like, okay, imagine it's not like bumpy here, it's just a flat green plane, and then you can see the skeleton and you can kind of like attack the skeleton. But now with the game, like there's actually 3 different specific parts, 3 different environments that all go together to form a small little a small little interactive experience that has a little bit of fun combat here, and then I want to have a fun little story. I like the environmental storytelling of stuff, and then also like adding in journals, like I was saying, to just really flesh that out more and have it be more interesting. And like, while yes, there may not be a lot in terms of gameplay, not really that much of a gameplay loop, because it's not really long enough at this point to have a gameplay loop. It's literally just attacking some skeletons, running around. Maybe the gameplay loop is basically kill skeletons, solve a puzzle, go to the next area. It's basically it. And with the cave system, maybe kill some skeletons, find some things, solve some puzzles, unlock story clues, and get to the next area. It's a very basic type of little loop. There's not really a ton to it. I spent more time really focusing on like the environments to build the story around than the game itself, which is something that I feel like I struggle with a lot and mess up with when trying to focus on like wanting to create like a full-fledged game. However, in this case, it's fine, because my entire premise going into this was I want to make a game with the focus of one, melee combat, just melee combat, first person, like an FPS, but instead of it being a shooter, it's just melee combat, FPM if you will, first person melee. And then have a basic melee system where it's just, okay, you can swing, maybe add in like a block or something, and then tell a small story, a very short story, nothing crazy, and just have it be like a fun little experience. That's my whole plan with this game. I'd say getting a lot closer to being finished. Maybe I'll be done within a month or 2, and then I'll release it. I don't know if I'm gonna sell it, but yeah, that's all the progress that I've made over the past month or so. Thank you so much for watching. I really do hope you enjoyed. One last thing I will say before I end this video is I'll probably end up putting this game up on my school community by the time I release it. It's not going to be like a full Steam release or anything, but I have a school community where I want to get a bunch of like-minded people to just join and grow together and make cool stuff and just have fun. And so that's what I've started. I started a school community, and it costs $10 a month. I currently don't have any courses or anything, but I'm actually working on some like fundamental game dev course stuff, and I want to do some other things in there relating to gaming and like collectible stuff, because I like collectibles. You can see like the Legos and like action figures and stuff like right over there and stuff behind me, and just like I want to incorporate all my different interests into one cohesive community of people and just share that and give the most value I can. So if that's something that you're interested in, where you want to meet like-minded people and just grow together and just have a nice community of people, then scroll down right now and go join that Skool community. It'll probably be the top link in the description. No one's in it yet. If you want to be the first person, amazing. If not, no worries. I appreciate you spending the time to watch this video as it is. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing day. God bless.